Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. So we are going to now continue with compound sifa. We had already learned that sifa can be classified into three forms. It can either be in the form of ism, it can be ism mufrad, one word. It can also be in the form of ism mawsul wasilatuhu. Then in the form of sentence, it can be jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya. Then ism can also come in the form of fragment, which is either idafa or jar majroor. Now, this is a mapping of when it is ism marifa, when your mawsuf is a proper ism. These are the ways that you can describe it. And when your mawsuf is nakira, ism nakira, which is a common ism, these are the ways that you can describe it. These are the sifas that can be used. So I'm not going to go into details. We've already covered ism mawsul wasilatuhu. We know what is ism mufrad, one word. We have learned that ism nakira can have, when a mawsuf, it can have jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya as its sifa. Now let's look at the two topics which are left, which is idafa. Idafa can be used for nakira and marifa both. Mawsuf can be common and proper both in idafa case. And jar majroor can only be used with a common ism. A nakira ism is mawsuf, only then you can have jar majroor. Otherwise, idafa can be used for both. Now, let's look at jar majroor as sifa. So, the roles a jar majroor can play in a sentence is it can be a mutalik bil khabar in jumla ismiya. It can also be mutalik bil fail in jumla fi'liya. So basically, it can be mutalik to any part of the sentence. Mutalik means connected to or attached to. So it can be a part of any, it can be mutalik to any other part of the sentence. Secondly, where do you place a sifa with a mawsuf? So usually, mutalik bil khabar, you have seen that usually it comes after khabar, but it can also come before khabar. And then it can also normally it comes after khabar. So exactly like that, jar majroor when used as a sifa can come before or after mawsuf. All right, as a sifa it can come before and after. Now, when it interrupts between mawsuf and sifa, so when jar majroor is interrupting a mawsuf and sifa, it can only occur in nakira ism when the mawsuf is common. A mawsuf is a common ism. It can only happen there. Also, it becomes the first sifa. So there was already a sifa and jar majroor came and interrupted it. So this jar majroor will become the first sifa. And generally, for such interruptions, min is used. So these are some of the things that you have to keep in mind. And let's look at the examples. So when sifa appears after mawsuf, in a normal case, mawsuf sifa and sifa is appearing after. This is an ayah from Quran where rahmatan is your mawsuf and minna is actually your sifa. And the translation would be mercy from us. So you can see mercy is your mawsuf. From us is describing the mercy. So that becomes the sifa. Now, in the next case, when sifa appears, and so this you may find it unusual in Arabic, but it appears before mawsuf. So, for example, again, we have rahmatan over here, and it's a mawsuf. And then we have minna, which is actually your sifa, which is coming before mawsuf. But you will see the translation is exactly the same as before, mercy from us. So even though the order has been changed, reversed, but the translation remains the same. Now, in the third case, when jar majroor interrupts a mawsuf and sifa, so this is another example from Quran, the batan, creatures. So what is describing creatures? This is a mawsuf, and this is tukallamuhum, is describing those creatures. So, and what is interrupting them? Minal ardi, which is a jar majroor, it's interrupting them. This should have been next to each other, but minal ardi is interrupting them. So this becomes your sifa number 1, and this becomes your sifa number 2. And the translation would go something like this: the creators. Here, not the creators. It's a common. It has to be in the common ism, commonism. So creatures from earth that speak to them. So you see these two sifas are coming next to each other. Okay, let's look at it when the sifa is idafa. It can happen in, so basically the special mudafs that are used as sifa to either a proper noun or a common noun are zu, ghairu, and mithlu. Also, you have to understand that idafa has four properties and the mawsuf also has four properties. Now, the status, number, and gender will always match. Only then it is a sifa. But for the type, if it is ism marifa, if it's proper, it should match the sifa. It should match the sifa in type. But if it is a common ism nakira, it may not match the sifa. I'm not sure 100% if it's always not matching, but there is a chance, I believe it may not match the sifa in type. So it's not a necessity, basically. Now let's look at the example. Example number 1, when your mawsuf is nakira, when it's common, you can see over here juludan is common. Now, what is describing it? It's your mawsuf, and ghayraha is describing juludan. So this becomes your sifa. You can see this is also nasab, this is also nasab, and you can see number also that like it's also describing in number also. Like for example, I believe this means skins. Juludan means skins. So ghayraha. So it's matching in number and gender also. So ha, and juludan means skin. So it is something which is matching in number, gender, and status. But because ghayruha is a mudaf, is an idafa, and it takes its type from its mudafile. So mudafile is a pronoun which is proper. So this becomes proper. This whole idafa becomes proper because of this pronoun. But juludan is not proper. So you can see it is not matching in the type, but it is matching in number, gender, and status. Now let's look at the translation. We replace them with other skins so they can taste the punishment. So you can see that skins, 1F, 1F, and it is also, what do you call it? The status is nasab and nasab, but only the type is differing over here. Let's look at the other example. When your mawsuf is a marifa, when it is proper ism. This is another example from Quran. Wal habbu zul asfi wal rayhan. I believe it's in Surah Rahman. So if you see your mawsuf is al habbu, which is proper, and zul asfi is your sifa, which is an idafa, and you can see that all four properties are matching. So zu is rafa and habbu is rafa. It's proper. This is also taking zul asfi is taking its properness, its type from its mudafile, which is proper. So this is also proper. Number, gender, everything should match when it is a proper noun. So this is the translation. And grains that have husks and sainted plants. So this would be its translation. So this brings us to the end of this chapter. We will revise this in form of drills, and inshallah we'll do more exercises about it after this.